Hello everybody, welcome to my video. My name is Yangji and I will be talking about if it's possible to make a full-time income from driving Uber. This was a question that has always flown through my mind, especially when I first quit my corporate job back in 2016 and when I was getting my business going and when I was not getting consistent income from my business. So, I had to depend on something that's more consistent, which is driving an Uber. Okay? So, the short answer to this question is yes, you could make a full time income driving an Uber. But the long answer is it depends on how you drive, how much time you put in, if what kind of car you're driving, and also if you just want to do it for part time to just supplement another income that you may have from a part time job or another job. So it really depends on all those questions. For me, I drove an Uber full time because it was very flexible and I get to choose my own hours. I get to work on my business whenever I am not driving an Uber. So that was definitely a plus for me. So we can go through some of the points on how to drive an Uber and what makes it, what makes it possible to actually drive an Uber and bring in a full-time income. So when I was doing it, I was paying for my own place, an apartment. I had student loans to pay for, and I had business expenses to pay for. So considering all of that, and I was still able to, just pay off whatever I had to pay, and just kind of survive off that for about a year. Now, do remember that I did not want to drive Uber for the rest of my life, so it was something that was definitely temporary, and I knew that was going to be temporary because I was putting a tons of miles on my car, and it was not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So do be sure that you want to drive temporarily. It's a means to an end. So that was what served as as being an Uber driver. So so the first thing you want to consider if you have not started driving an Uber or if you're already driving an Uber is, do you want to make additional income? Okay, so they actually make it a very good way to just make additional income without, you spending that much extra time on driving for Uber. Okay, so one way that they actually made it is they have these destination filters. Okay, so if you actually downloaded the Uber app or if you're already driving in the Uber app, you would notice that you have 2 destination filters every day. So what that means is if you don't want to do it full time, and if you already have a full time job, you could basically, if you live quite a bit of distance from your home to your full time job or your job, you could basically just take a destination filter and then direct that filter to your job place, your workplace, and then they will actually come up with rides that will be on the way to your work. So basically, you're not really getting out of your way to drive for Uber. I mean, you're basically driving to your workplace with a few stops, and you're making that extra income. And you can do that the same way, on your way back from your job, since you get 2 destination filters a day. So that was a very good way to actually just earn extra income by going to your job. Okay? If you want to do it, so that's a very good way to just earn part-time income, to earn extra income to pay for whatever you have to do, to pay for your business, to pay for, just whatever you have to pay for. That's a very good way to do it, and that's actually what I started doing it as. When I first started back in 2016, I was really just doing it to supplement, my lifestyle, stuff that I had to pay for, student loans. So it's just extra income on the side. If you want to do it full time, you would probably need to have a more, just a more robust strategy on how to drive because, you're going to have to take into consideration of, gas. You're going to have to take into consideration of time because when you are out there on your own and you don't have a full-time job or another job to back up your income, it's your time is going to be very important. So how you would want to drive is, you could consider taking, very short rides around the city on, very busy times. Or you can do it with very long trips, okay? That was actually my preferred approach, was to take longer trips and less waiting time, because time is very important. I drove in the LA market, which was, a very good market to drive for, because LA is huge and everyone drives everywhere. And, I lived in Pasadena. So what I did was I set a destination filter every day from Pasadena to the airport, which would be a good 30 miles, okay? And, what that would earn you would be, depending on the time and if you're getting any surge, right? If you're not getting any surge, you're probably earning about $30 for that trip. If you're getting a surge, you could earn maybe like from, $30-something to $60, just depending on how high the surge is. So, you take that trip, I take that trip from Pasadena to the airport. It'll be about $30 to $50, depending on if there's a surge. After I get to the airport, it is very likely that I do not have to wait, because, I'm at the airport for the next ride. And sometimes you even get rides after you dropped off someone, immediately after you drop off someone at the airport, and you're going to just pick up a ride and you're just going to go elsewhere. So, there's no waiting time there. Cutting down on waiting time is very important while you're driving for Uber. So, you really have to plan your drive, efficiently, okay? But, that's if you want to do it full-time. Or, if you want to do it even more efficiently part-time, I mean, that works too. But, if you just want to do it part-time, one way to do it is, if you're just going to work or go into wherever you need to be anyways, why not pick up a few others and just earn that extra cash along your route, okay? So that really concludes my short review as an Uber driver for the past 2 years. I still do it from time to time if I'm having hiccups in my business, but I've really cut down on my driving. But during my full-time driving back in 2017 and 2016, this is what I learned. It does take some time to learn it, but you really need to have a good strategy in driving, okay? So if you guys have any feedback, questions, comments, please leave it down at my video description below, and I would be sure to answer you. If you guys do want to drive for Uber, please do sign up using my link below, and you guys will get a bonus after a certain amount of rides that you give, and I will also earn a bonus as well, so I would really appreciate that. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I will be back with you with another video and more tips on how to drive. Thank you very much.